was chilling, looking at the sky, laying on the grass right near my house, and was filming this time lapse of the clouds. I was thinking about what is, and what was and will be below us. And literally, there's a lot. That was my last walk before the lockdown. It was like maybe the beginning of March or something. Just before the quarantine was announced and the self-isolation stuff. So I managed to film some evidence, and you can see there's not only excavated buildings below the surface, the level of the ground. Also, those buildings have more undergrounds, as you can see, ventilation shafts, windows. So excavation only proves that it was buried before. And it's not just the basement floor, because the basements are below. Okay, and this is I stepped down this place, and to show you that if this was excavated, actually you see more underground floors, and they could also be not not the basement floors, but even more. And all this area is just like a huge basin, like a swimming pool, whatever, without the water. In this case, water was the mud which was excavated. And you can see this place still has much to excavate, right? There's a whole bunch of evidence of that. And if you look at the landscape, you see that it's like we're at the bottom, and there's still some missing from the excavation. Okay, and I was walking around and thinking about how people were living here, how they were actually heating their houses without decent systems of heating. They weren't heating with those ornaments, were they? Or perhaps, like they would say, like they had coal or something before the heating systems, the first heating systems. And I was wondering, how could you do it? And I recalled the case when such car was standing near such house, but in that case the windows were not visible, and just sunk in a sinkhole, and barely managed to hang on. Let's watch a small clip from the 6-year before case. And this goes with the heating, because those guys actually say that these underground facilities were the coal stocks, so they kept coal underneath the houses, you know, it's kind of flammable, you know, so that doesn't work for me as an explanation. But anyways, who would miss a construction like this with the windows and just construct a house near to it and not even care about that house that is like below? I don't know, that sounds stupid to me. What do you say? Write me in the comments. And continuing with the walk, actually a whole bunch of these windows, and you can see sometimes they don't even care. They make doors from the second floor windows, and on the next one they also do the same, as you can see. So is it really matter to explain it with something? You know, I had a comment today about one explanation. Let me read it to you. Hi Philip, a friend of mine made a point that the weight of these buildings is a factor in them sinking. That's why we don't build in this style anymore. And I said that the explanation was debunked at the day one of my research. You have to learn how the building is sinking. So it's like sinking not simultaneously, not evenly. It's cracking while sinking, and so it has to be like not very short period after the construction. And so it's like impossible if you have like 10 to 20 years of sinking. In the real world it's impossible. I'm not talking about hundreds of years. The chance of building that starts sinking to stay safe after 100 years of sinking is zero. What about pictures of building 100 years ago? Why didn't they stop sinking then? Such selective sinking is impossible and unreal. Yes, it's impossible. So remember the place. I've been here before and I filmed this house right across the street. It was a very interesting experience to step down one of the Moscow basements with the evidence of buried windows of the previous houses. Hi people, as you can see, I'm in one of the buildings of 18th century, 19th century perhaps. Here how it looks. We're on the first floor, as you can see. We go down to the underground. And you see the window. What do you see there? It's on the ground floor. One more underground window here. So it's like 3-4 meters underground. So we literally have to answer the question who, why constructed the buildings and didn't care about the previously built constructions. And the answer is simple: nobody. Everybody knew they were building on something if they were building on the previous construction, or they would be just, you know, cleaning up and repairing the previous construction, upgrading it, making more stores up on those buildings. As you can see, sometimes design is different, and there's some tracks of excavation. Not everywhere, because excavations are really expensive at the times where you don't have any resources, and enough resources to do it all. You have to excavate the whole city, so just imagine how much time it would take. So that's why they left those constructions buried, partially destroyed, maybe, who knows. And those who were standing better, in a better condition, they reuse them for the further purposes of the new owners. And that could be the only explanation. You don't have enough resources to build a new construction. You use the old ones, repair, renovate them, leave those traces of being buried, being flooded, and don't care because you don't have to explain anyone anything. But when times comes when those excavations will reveal that those buildings are actually not as what we know, and just some mud flooded buildings, and those conspiracy theories come up and tell you what is going on, you won't even care because you are not living anymore, and the next generation is gonna be explaining people why they have so much facilities underground, why to use them, and who actually constructed them at the first, right? There's plenty of other questions, of course. It's not only who constructed them and who left all those artifacts that are pretty much impossible to prove that were made in the 19th century. I'm not talking about the technology of those constructions that they name and date even before, like all those castles, pyramids, and the megalithic blocks, megalithic walls, and all this evidence all around. I'm not even talking about the 19th century buildings. But of course we have to first solve this problem, and that's what I'm doing. I have already passed the period when I was just pointing at the screen or copy pasting some footage from the website. I've been filming for at least 2 years, so plenty of evidence that have been filmed in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and planning to film more in different other cities and maybe visit Europe or US sometime soon. Who knows? If they let me in, of course. They blame me to totally blow out the Western history paradigm, is what they say. And there's a bunch of people trying to debunk stuff, and but literally I don't know any decent explanation for this observable evidence. If you have some, just write in the comments, and so I will roll over your explanation in one of my next videos and cover up why it's working or not. People have to understand that all these explanations have been debunked maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we started all this research, and you just cannot come up with the simple explanation anymore, because we've been debunking it all, and we've seen so many evidence that the architects leave us in the design of the building. Like, for example, this totally looks like a mud flow, and they cover up these bricked up windows, and if you come up from a different part, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of them. And it's not like the facade, it's a internal part of the building. That's why they use them, and the facade is just bricked up and covered with this mud type of ornament. And look at the windows, they look like some windows in churches. So of course those architects were maybe some members of some secret societies, who knows. But it's what I think, Most of them just were repairing the previous buildings, the buildings that were built before them. Yes, they got the skills to repair, but to construct such beauty, I don't think so. So if you criticize something like official explanation of cultural layers or horse crab theory or whatever they, using, you have to propose yours, and I have been proposing my own explanations and maybe a little list of them, and many other people did. So some of those theories work like 80%, some of them work like 50%, and some of them don't work at all. But we still use them because they can explain some certain evidence. And what I propose that everybody should be filming and trying to research the history of his town, his place, and post as much evidence as you can, because that evidence getting destroyed each year during the renovations, restorations, and stuff like this. So no wonder if there's no owner of those so-called sub-basement and basement facilities. They just getting abandoned, and nobody's using them. Not even the law can help us. If you don't have an owner, it all vanishes and being demolished. And this is a place I also managed to film those huge windows, and we're like 7-8 meters underground right now. You don't even see the sky here from here, only from that window, which is like only partially visible from the first floor. And this is like 1 mile from the Kremlin. Everywhere in Moscow you have those facilities. If you have a pass to it, if you have an access, you can probably film such evidence. And most people that do research, they find the same, and literally they film a lot. Anyways, I'm not here to prove. Yes, you heard me. I'm not here to prove anymore. I think I proved it all. I'm here to make the conclusions and research maybe not recently covered areas, such as this one, which has like a 17th century church, and the whole place looks like it's not even excavated. The level is around 4 meters, as you can see, and all this area is only top of something that is below, something very important. But I don't think they will show us what is below. What is below, actually? Guys, this is the only question they are scared of. Those tunnels, facilities that they've been using. They know that they're here. They know that the facilities around. They know the underground tunnels. They know the transportation systems of the previous civilizations. And the only reason they don't tell us, because they use it right now. They use it, and they take advantage of this information and feed us with a bunch of crap, a bunch of stupid theories and explanations. So think about it. This is only top of the building. As you can see, the building nearby also doesn't seem to have anything buried, but if you look closely, you'll find out that there's an underground level, which is most definitely buried as at the rest of the buildings. Nobody would construct an entrance like this You would make a door or something. As you can see, that building across also has the underground facility, which is closed to the viewers. Yeah, a bunch of things, a bunch of crazy things, a bunch of renovations, a bunch of this weathering. You cannot say for sure, is this block or that block actually original, or is it just replaced 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Nobody's gonna let you down. Nobody's gonna let you to see what is below. You don't have the permit, you don't have the license, you don't have the education. You can only ask questions now, because you don't have to prove anything. Everything's been proved. The phenomenon is real, it's valid. A bunch of people trying to debunk us still, not even doing anything, only reading Wikipedias and filming the places nobody films. Nobody trying to prove. Come to Moscow and try to prove something here. I will meet you. I will show you around. We're gonna talk. We're gonna probably find out something new, something that I haven't covered yet, because the city is really big and we have a whole bunch of suburbs with those ancient 19, 18, 17, 20, 17th century buildings and constructions, and mostly like this red brick. You know, they cover everything with the fence. Everything that is spectacular is covered with the fence. And you cannot just go there and check it out. Only the top of the building is visible. I think that was some type of power plant or something. So now they literally bricked up the facade windows that's supposed to be visible, and they are visible only from the side. And they just say that some stupid rednecks or whatever, those peasants with no skills, created this splendid masonry from the scratch just for some uncertain, unpractical things. Nobody ever, would have made something like this for this purpose. Nobody would have done some creationism with those bricks for no purpose, and so on and so forth. So we asked questions, and those people getting pissed off, sending a bunch of trolls under my videos, totally pessimizing my channel from the search results. You cannot even find my videos unless you like below the 50th result. But I'm the one who started all this stuff, and I'm supposed to be somewhere around top 10 results, but no, my channel is blocked from the search. But I'm sure that a bunch of people watched my videos anyway, and I still gained some views, although the channel is around to be called totally dead and depessimized. It's probably because I make a bunch of videos that people don't like. Well, whatever. I do suck, and I admit it. And I want you guys to be better. I want you to start your own channels and film your own evidence and try to prove I'm wrong or right, or maybe propose your own theory, your own explanation that could be understandable and easily validated by the real evidence, observable evidence. Like, why would you make a door from the second floor window? Why? Just because of horse crap? Well, that doesn't work outside of the cities, and they still did it. So the horse crap wasn't flooding outside the cities, the suburbs. Probably only where the roads were, right? There's a bunch of horses. But if you go outside the city, and for example, this building was outside of the city when it was constructed. Right now it's inside the city, but when it was constructed, it was outside the city. Why would you make a door from the second floor window? So thanks a lot for following me through this walk, through this research, through those years of watching thousands of hours of my videos. And I hope you really enjoy it, and I really wish that all you have good health and everything's okay, your economy restored, your budget is filled with and you have a bunch of willingness to, you know, a bunch of will to research, not just sit and wait for somebody to do it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you later. Bye.